All right, guys, welcome back to another Monday live show, as we're doing now Monday through Friday. I'm going to, there we go. Hold on, let me just mute. Welcome back to another Monday live. There we go. Okay, cool. All right, guys, let's jump into this. Welcome everybody who's tuning in live. We got Trial, Shawshank, Menion, Landslide, and we'll wait for other people to kind of trickle on in here as we go live. But yeah, welcome back to another Monday. Lots of things going on, especially in the NFT world. Things are going absolutely insane. Yeah, and if you are watching this, please make sure you do smash that like button, as Anders has said. Let's jump into what's going on in the world of crypto and NFTs, because NFTs are absolutely insane right now. Lots of speculation if we are, at a bubble, in a kind of peak of the NFT world. But as we've talked about before, we see that they are kind of negatively correlated, right? So as the crypto, the token market tends to pump, we tend to see a pullback in the NFT world. And right now, we see that exactly. We see this kind of inverse correlation, or negatively correlated. So let's go and I'll start sharing my screen, and we'll get into the news and see what did Bitcoin do over the weekend. So right now we saw Bitcoin kind of this bull trap kind of formation that happened over here, where people thought we were going to go up, but it touched almost 39K and then pulled back down. Now we're sitting at about 37.2. I'm not going to get into technical analysis because that's not my thing. But right now we are kind of just here at this for the past over a little bit over a week, just kind of the sideways consolidation. We do get news often though about rich people picking up more Bitcoin every time there is a dip. El Salvador picking up more, other rich people picking up more, and some really big news, guys, for the end of this about the United States adopting Bitcoin as a legal tender. So make sure you stay tuned to the end, because that is crazy, absolutely crazy news. Let's go into here where this absolutely record smashing sale of this BoredApe for 1,080, almost 81 ETH, which is at today's ETH rate, that's about $2.78 million. So sold on LooksRare. And this is just going to keep going, in my opinion, more than likely, because again, BoredApes are the only thing that is actually, in my mind, solidified as a blue chip. We do see some other ones that have been constantly up there. And if we just go quickly look at, let's just quickly look at Rarity Tools, because I've never used this before. It's a great tool to see kind of what is happening in the crypto market, what the kind of volume is like, and actually how to find some rare NFTs. So I'll get into Mutant Apes in a second, but this is actually how I found my Mutant Ape, which is in the top 100 of rarity for the Mutant Ape collection, and I got a really good deal on it for like 14 ETH or something. But you can see right now the 7-day volume for these different collections. And some of the ones that we constantly see in here, and that I guess you could say are blue chips by now, are obviously these top 3, which are top 4, which is definitely these the entire BoredApe collection, including BoredApe Kennel Club. So you see BoredApe Kennel Club kind of coming up here with some good volume. This is because people want to get into the BoredApe family, but they're priced out from definitely BoredApes, becoming really hard and priced out of the Mutant Apes. And so BoredApes are something that some people can still get into. But we see Cool Cats on here all the time. So Cool Cats have kind of established themselves as a blue chip. CyberKongs and CyberKongs VX always on here as well. Definitely kind of have solidified themselves as blue chips as well. The VX ones are the ones that are more affordable right now, and also can be used in the upcoming CyberKong metaverse that they're building. And I've seen the pre-build of the actually metaverse environment they're building, I believe, in Sandbox, which is really exciting. So the VX are the ones that we'll be able to use in that metaverse world. And as we keep going down here, you start to see a lot of these that are kind of some of them familiar, some of them are changing up quite often. Of course, when the new ones come out that have a lot of hype, they come up here in the top top 20, top 50 for a little while, and then they tend to fall off. But you'll see some of the ones that have been around for a while, which are kind of climbing up the charts. We start to see something like Brett's project, the Magic Mushroom Clubhouse, now number 48. Congratulations, Brett. This is something that he works really hard on, I know, and we have him on our show all the time. And hard work pays off, as you can see. This is it's obviously still a long ways away from something like BoredApes or something as far as volume is concerned, but it is nice to see the consistency, and if you are running a solid community, it pays off. Doge Pound, also something we consistently see in the top 50 or so. We'll get back into BoredApes and Mutant Apes and the Kennel Club as well in a second, but let me show you this. This is from Jiho, who is one of the co-founders of Axie Infinity. His tweet says, less than 3 million people have bought NFTs. We are still very, 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 very early. And you can see most of these, about half of the NFTs that have been purchased are on Ronin, which means that this is Axie's side layer solution for Ethereum, which is so this basically says that 1.5 million of the 3 million, so half of the NFTs that have been sold so far have been on Axie Infinity. So really, when it comes down to like these PFP NFTs, we're really talking about, 1 million or so, 1.5 million actually, but really Ethereum and Solana, and I guess you could say Flow and Wax, I guess, and Polygon. I guess these are all kind of legit NFTs, but really 1.5 million who are buying these PFP kind of NFTs. So it's still very, very, very early in NFT land. And as we'll see right now, we start to see again, just time and time again, pop stars, celebrities, things like that are buying NFTs. This one says, pop star Justin Bieber buys BoredApe NFT for 1.29 million, pays 300% more than the floor price. So Justin Biebs got this little this BoredApe right here, and basically what this article is saying is that he dramatically overpaid for his ape. Now, I don't know exactly how they calculated this, but the floor price I think right now is around 117 ETH. Last week on my show, I talked to you guys about it. I think it was around 100 ETH or so. And so this is, it's obviously climbing up, and as more and more celebrities start to come into BoredApes, it just solidifies the fact that it's becoming a cult kind of like environment where this is something that is becoming absolutely ridiculous as far as the price is concerned. But just like art can be ridiculous, NFTs can too. And so I think that this is not something that we're going to see go away anytime soon. BoredApes are the only thing I've seen celebrities kind of clinging onto and buying time and time again. But yeah, basically, why did Justin pay 300 times or 300% more than the floor for this BoredApe? This is definitely not a rare ape. In fact, his rarity score is very, very low, which rarity score is something you can find here on Rarity Tools, which basically just tells you how rare a particular NFT is. So he got one of the least rare apes. And he paid a heavy premium for it. So let's just quickly look at the Mutant Apes floor. So Mutant Apes are now at 25 ETH for the floor price. You can see BoredApes 117 floor price, and the Kennel Club is now floor price is 11 ETH. So this is still incredibly expensive for most people, but it is the least expensive of the entire collection. And even the BoredApe Chemistry Club, these are the serums that people use to make the mutant apes. Even these are insanely expensive now, right? So even the M1 serum, which makes the ape a bit more mutated, this is 33 ETH for the floor. And then the M2 serum, which makes the ape much more mutated, is almost 63 ETH for a vial of this serum. So, and then of course the Mega Mutant serum is ridiculously expensive at a retarded almost 7,000 ETH. So that's like they're asking like $21 million for this, which is ridiculous. But people are paying for this kind of stuff. And yeah, so let's move on from that. This is the NFT news from everyone today. We can see next up we've got China. All right, now China, even though China has put a hard stop on crypto, it is embracing NFTs, of course, with some strings attached. While China has been very, very vocal about crypto because it could disrupt their plans for their digital yuan, their digital RMB. What they have been doing is embracing NFTs a bit, and the president Xi Jinping has urged the mass adoption of digital ledgers to help turn China into, let's say, an industrial and digital powerhouse. So they're not. So it's interesting because they are going to, focus on NFTs, I guess, and that doesn't function. That doesn't threaten directly their digital currency or their plans or their national sovereignty as far as their currency goes. So I guess this makes sense in a way, and I guess it makes them feel a bit like they get to participate in the crypto world. So that's interesting. For China, they have completely banned cryptocurrency, but they have formed an alliance, a blockchain alliance, and this involves some of the biggest companies in China, like Jack Ma's Ant, and then as well as Tencent as well, two of the biggest companies who are helping them form the legislation and regulation for cryptocurrencies and NFTs. So this is not the last we will hear out of China, and I'm sure that they have not figured out exactly how they're going to regulate NFTs, because of course there are strict capital controls in China, right? So I believe that any citizen cannot take more than equivalent to $50,000 out of the country at any given time. And now, of course, if you go buy a BoredApe for $1 million, and then you can sell it somewhere else, that's one way you can get money out of the country. So they're going to have to think about ways that they can, prevent the capital controls and these kind of things happening. So yeah, we'll see. Everyone else who's been tuning in lately, we've got Clinton, Belowen, Akabaso, Shashank Menyon. What's up, guys? Welcome to the live stream. Let me know, guys, in the chat if there's anything that you guys want to talk about or anything that is on your mind while I'm going through the news. Kraken Natural Trading, everyone that's here, Mexican Crypt, Landside, welcome, guys. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for tuning in. I'm a 7575. What's happening? Jeremy Morin, Clone X is lightning, I guess. I have a few Clone X's, and yes, I heard they've been going wild. Michael Leah, oh man, no. Welcome everybody. Anders, what's happening? Guys, thanks for tuning in. Make sure that you smash the likes. Metis DAO is amazing too. You guys know I talk about that quite a bit. And let's go back and let's go. We're still sharing the screen. Yep. Okay. So next up, guys, next story, we've got Fidelity. So Fidelity, as we know, we've all been watching and thinking that, there's going to be an NFT approved eventually for Bitcoin, and they just keep getting shut down time and time again. So, of course, Fidelity sent in another request for a Bitcoin ETF, and that was shut down as well. And so as soon as that came back and got denied, they just threw in their Metaverse ETF. And this is going to track different companies, including crypto and I believe non-crypto as well, that are entering into the Metaverse. And we'll see if this one gets passed through. This one is, I guess, potentially less controversial than the Bitcoin ETF. And this would give people exposure to this new world of the Metaverse that has a very, very prominent narrative right now. So we'll be following along with this and updating you guys in real time as it happens. What does this mean for crypto if it's approved? Well, it depends too, right? Will this be a physically backed ETF or just a futures ETF? And the application is for physically backed. And so we hope that this is what ends up going through, because we know that the physically backed, meaning that if people participate in the ETF, the fund actually has to go out and buy those assets. Whereas in a futures ETF, they don't actually have to do that. It's just speculation on where the price will be in the future. And they don't actually go buy those assets. And that does zero good for the industry. It actually is as a negative impact most of the time on the crypto industry. So when will we ever see a Bitcoin ETF? Who knows? The rest of the world has them. I think there's 11 or 12 Bitcoin ETFs around the world. And yeah, it says trial says poor Kyle, shame you didn't pull the trigger on Mega Serum for 300. I know. It was it. I know. I thought about it. It's crazy, right? It was something that I did consider, and I thought it was crazy at the time. But yeah, it's now it's what 7,000 for this Mega Serum. So I could say that safely tell you that I'm not going to be doing anything like that. So let's go into Apple for a second. Apple is teasing about the metaverse. So it says Apple teases metaverse AR plans. As CEO Tim Cook mentioned, the company was planning to expand the number of augmented reality applications it has on the App Store. So obviously, everybody is getting into the metaverse. We'll talk about Meta or Facebook in a little bit. But of course, this made Apple's stock pump, and because everybody is, of course, excited for what the metaverse is going to be, even though in my mind, we are still very early days for this metaverse environment, and what we have right now is quite junk, to be honest with you. But we'll get there. We'll get there, and you know, we're nowhere near a Ready Player One yet environment, but we're getting there. So it also says that that's right now we have over 14,000 AR kit apps in the App Store, which provide incredible AR experiences for millions of people today. And so we see a lot of potential in the space and are investing accordingly, which is what it says down here in the for good old Apple. So that's the Apple news and augmented reality and metaverse. And we'll go into next, Meta or Facebook. Whatever you want to call them. So Facebook's metaverse already generates close to $3 billion in sales. So you're asking yourself now, how does that make any sense? Facebook doesn't even have a metaverse yet. Well, basically, you know, people talk about the gold rush in the United States, and they talk about, you know, the people who made the most money weren't the people who are actually mining the golds, but the people who were actually providing the picks and shovels, right? So right now, the leader in metaverse technology or tool sets or things that people use to access metaverse is Meta or Facebook. They're doing the Oculus Rift, and last year there's estimate that they sold 6.8 million Oculus VR headsets and generated close to $3 billion from the sale of those headsets. So that's a tremendous amount of revenue generated for just selling headsets. Imagine all the other things that they can do to generate revenue once they have it up and running. The kinds of NFTs that they will be selling, the kinds of as the headsets evolve, the upgrades, things like that. It's going to be quite wild to watch the evolution of the tools that are being used for people to access the metaverse. Next up, Visa. Visa partners with over 65 crypto platforms. Crypto linked card usage soars despite price volatility. So this makes sense to me because as people start to understand crypto more and more and more, they start to increase their exposure in their portfolio. From they get into it and they test, 1 to 5% of their portfolio in crypto, and then they see that it's going up or they understand it better, and then they increase their portfolio, their risk appetite, and then they go from 5% to 25%, and then they go to 50%, and then people eventually kind of get, higher and higher risk exposure or more and more involved in crypto, and they start having less and less fiat to spend, and so they have to spend crypto. So even though there's volatility, and even though people believe that the price of Bitcoin will be higher in the future than it is today, they're still willing to spend their crypto because, well, that's what they're mostly where they're mostly invested into. And people aren't, not everyone is just buying the kind of crypto they want to buy and hold, but they're investing in it, speculating it, and they want to spend it as well. So despite what a lot of people say, that people aren't spending their crypto, it's not true. People do. I do spend mine all the time. And most people I know that are in crypto are spending their crypto all the time as well, because we make our money in crypto, we spend it crypto. And so a lot of people I know are using these Visa or MasterCard crypto cards. And so this one basically talks about the fact that Visa has pushed forward with building its crypto credentials, having now partnered with over 65 crypto platforms, including exchanges. And this quarter, Visa credentials and crypto wallets had more than 2.5 billion in payment volume, which is already 70% of the payments volume for all 2021. That's crazy. And the company plans to further lean in the crypto space with a goal of becoming a key partner to provide connectivity, scale, consumer value propositions, reliability, and security that is needed for crypto offerings. So basically, you know, Visa figured, it was very smart of them, right? They figured, well, shoot, this crypto thing is really going to threaten us as a service, but it didn't. They just adapted really quickly, and they're still making, Visa's still making their 1 to 3% on every single transaction that is being charged, whether it's fiat or crypto. So for them, it doesn't really matter, right? Of course, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency should be peer-to-peer. However, we are still using third parties because until the infrastructure becomes more set up to accept peer-to-peer crypto payments, we will use middlemen and third parties like Visa. So in the meantime, Visa is adopting, and this is, I'm sure, making them tons and tons of money. So I guess you could say, well done, Visa. Well done, Visa. Next, we are going into, next up, we have Meta goes to Brazil to trademark Bitcoin and crypto services. So Meta, aka Facebook, has filed a trademark registration with the Brazilian authorities to design, develop, and provision hardware and software for various Bitcoin and crypto-related services. So you can see that, of course, Meta is going to go everywhere that it possibly can. And Brazil has been a country that's often in the news regarding crypto and NFTs, and they are quite advanced as well. And like I said, I'm sure Meta has business development and lawyers and things like that everywhere, where they're going to get into as many possible countries as possible because they are big, they are on the radar, and they need to apply for license registration everywhere they go. Unlike newer companies that can kind of just enter into jurisdictions unnoticed, Meta cannot. And so it needs to file these kind of things and go by the book. This is why I think something like Casta is going to do really well, because they're smaller and can move into countries more unnoticed. Eventually, they'll have to do licensing and things like that. But as far as adoption in the interim, they'll be able to kind of come in and have adoption in countries without so much observation, like something like Meta would do, for example. So someone's asking if I could cover any new NFT projects you're eyeing to get into on the ground. Guys, I'm mostly looking at gaming NFTs. You know, I mean, one of the ones obviously is Jurassic Punks, and I see someone's asking about the whitelist for Jurassic Punks. That should be up. Well, actually not up, but we should have emailed people. Let's see, Mike is saying we have 35 people, still need more people with emails in there. So guys, make sure that if you have your email in, make sure that you have your email in your YouTube bio. That way, if you do win, we can email you and let you know that you have one. That's very, very important. Yep, guys, please smash up the likes. That'd be great. Be awesome. Thank you. Yeah, and about MetaCon in Dubai. So could you please tell us about MetaCon Dubai? That is, something that is a metaverse conference in Dubai that I am hosting. That is February 25th, 6th, and 7th, I believe. If you guys are interested in coming to that, please do. It's going to be a lot of fun, and basically it's going to be the first consumer show where a lot of different crypto gaming metaverse projects are going to be there demonstrating what they have, right? So we're going to have guilds there, a lot of crypto games, a lot of VR headset kind of things where it's going to be like a consumer show where, like CES, where you can go and actually like have your hands on the different things, try them out, et cetera, et cetera. So that's at the end of the month, and that should be quite exciting as well. As far as new NFTs, I'm not really looking too much into the new ones, except for a couple close friends of mine that I know are doing projects that I think are quite interesting, like Jurassic Punks using the motion capture suits and things like that to be able to, that's quite special, right? To have an NFT that you can control and move with your phone or a motion capture suit. You can use it on your video calls. You can use it in your games, things like that. That's quite impressive. So let's go back and look at, let's see. So now we're going to go to, that was Brazil. So we're going to talk about back Bitcoin to $1 million. Is this sharing on my screen? Let's see. I think so, right? Okay. Yeah. So Kathy Wood, ARK Invest Management, sees Bitcoin going to the moon, saying it could break the $1 million barrier by 2030. Well, we thought it would be here before then, but I guess people are being a bit more conservative these days, which would make sense. However, I'm not sure. I definitely think that Bitcoin's going to go over $1 million. I think it's going to go higher than that. The timeline, I have no idea, actually. But Kathy Wood from ARK Invest believes that it could go to $1 million by 2030. And if it takes that long to get there, I would be just fine with that. I would just fine with that. It gives you more time to get in before you're completely priced out. If you're not, it's not a horrible thing that Bitcoin isn't already past $100,000 or even past $50,000 right now, because it gives more people time to get in, and if Bitcoin had already shot up to 100 or 200, or a lot of people are thinking $300,000 by the end of last year, it wouldn't have allowed other people to get in. And now, it's giving more time for smaller countries to actually learn about it and adopt it and acquire some before it gets so ridiculously priced out. If it would have just been adopted by all the rich people already, and it is, trust me, it is, but if it would have just been completely gobbled up by now, and we had gone to, it wouldn't have got as widespread as we would have hoped it would have been. Bitcoin's supposed to be something that helps smaller countries and poorer people get into an asset class that will skyrocket and perform extremely well over the next 10 years. And so it's actually quite a good thing that's taking its time to go up to this $1 million marker. But basically, Bitcoin's $1.1 trillion market cap would just have to get to 28.5 trillion for it to reach $1 million per coin. That's only half of the $50 trillion traditional equities market cap. So basically, we need the market to do a 27x or so from here for Bitcoin to hit $1 million. And it will definitely get there. Probably either, probably, yeah. I don't know. Kathy says it'll take 8 more years. That would definitely be a lot longer than we had anticipated. However, there's going to be more and more pushbacks, especially as Bitcoin starts to come to the $250,000 mark. The $250,000 mark is when it starts to really threaten the US dollar, as far as its value, its overall market cap value, and it'll see a lot of resistance from regulators and things like that as it starts to come closer to that 250K mark. So Kathy Wood from ARK Invest tells you Bitcoin's going to be $1 million. I do not doubt that. And looking forward to the day when that does happen. So here is the most interesting news of the day by far. This is talking about Arizona. And this article says state senator introduces bill to make Bitcoin legal tender in Arizona. This is interesting because the US Constitution doesn't allow individual states to create their own legal tender. However, so the bill SB 1341 was introduced by State Senator Wendy Rogers, a Republican. It seeks to amend the list of accepted legal tender to include Bitcoin, which means the cryptocurrency would be accepted for the payment of debt, public charges, taxes, and other dues. Whether such a law could go into effect is questionable, given the U.S. Constitution doesn't allow individual states to create their own legal tender. The bill must pass the Arizona State Senate and House before Governor Doug Ducey, a Republican, could sign it into law. Rogers, who took office in early 2021, is a controversial figure who has ties to the anti-government group Oath Keepers, who praised the conspiracy theory group QAnon. And basically, a couple more lines. Dov Huffins, a Republican real estate developer and current candidate for Texas governor, recently said he would make Bitcoin legal tender if elected. So go Dawn in Texas, please get elected. And please vote it into bill. That would be amazing. So the purpose of this article is really to make you think here. This is kind of crazy, right? And I was curious, what does this mean that that U.S. Constitution doesn't allow individual states to create their own legal tender? So they're not creating their own legal tender, just adopting a new one. I wonder how that would play in. And I read this, but it doesn't really help me at all. This is the Constitution, Article 1, Section 10, Clause 1. And it doesn't really make any sense to me. No state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque or marquee or mark, I don't know, and reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debts, pass any bill of a tender, ex post facto law or law impairing the obligation of contracts, or grant any title of notability. My God, they wrote in some crazy English back in the day. I have no idea what that means. But the fact is that there is a bill put before the lawmakers to pass Bitcoin as a legal tender in Arizona, and hopefully soon enough, Texas. This is going to be incredibly interesting. Now, the states are supposed to have autonomy of the kind of laws that they have within their states. However, federal law would supersede state law. We see things like this happen all the time. For example, in California, where you have marijuana as a legal legal for recreational use and medical use, where it is legally sold for recreational use in California. However, it is still a federally illegal drug. And so we have this kind of state versus federal law, which is conflicting. Now, whether that happens to something like Bitcoin or not remains to be seen, and is very, very interesting because it does threaten the US dollar. And of course, people see the inflation, the spending power of the US dollar going down and down and down, and see the spending power of Bitcoin going up and up and up over time. So this is actually really, really crazy news, which would surprise me when I read it tremendously. And we will be following it quite closely as the story unfolds, and keep you updated. So that's almost it, guys. Let me just go through. Is there anything? Yeah, thanks, Landslide. Hit the like and subscribe if you guys have not subscribed already. Carl's here. Hey, Moon, the Moon. You love your crypto punk, Carl. Did you get some apes? Like I told you. Hope you got some apes. Good to see you, Carl. And Chad Rizona, exactly. You guys are bosses. I love it. I love it when something like a state knows that they're going to face incredible resistance from the federal government, and having the balls to go out and to say, this is what we believe is correct. This is what we're going to do. Am I still? Ow! This microphone just grabbed my beard and pulled my hair out. That would hurt. Still bullish on Jungle Freaks. I am bullish on Jungle Freaks. You know, they have a crazy community, and this is important. You know, I know there was some controversy, but last I checked, the founders were still going hard and had a really cool roadmap, and we'll see. You know, as people become more priced out of the blue chips, like the entire BoredApe community, they'll have to look for other NFT projects that have great communities that can provide value that will eventually also come up in value. The fact that we are so early, and only have 3 million NFTs sold, and half of them being Axie, that's a good sign that there's a tremendous amount of the world that still has not come into the NFT space that is going to, and it's inevitable that other NFT projects have to become adopted as well. The question is, which one will they be? And I think Jungle Freaks is pretty cool myself. I also, of course, have a bias there because I still hold all of mine. So anyway, guys, I think that's going to end this this live stream today. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will catch you guys on the show tomorrow. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so. And if you haven't yet smashed a like, please do that as well, guys. Thank you so much. I will catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye.